I believe fine. She did it in small groups just to be safe,
Smart.
and I don't think she got any issues. So thank you.
Wish we had a better way for her.
They do have a MailChimp account, but she can't get into it.
She's going to need to get a password from them.
I
Yeah,
have a question. I've got some pictures on my phone
Mhm.
that I need to email to somebody
Mhm.
rather than text. I mean, I know how to take pictures and text, but to email, I mean, is it just the same as, yeah, I'm pulling it up and I'm seeing there's a thing where it says mail. If I wanted to somehow get these onto my desktop, that I would have them. What this is I've got some what appears to be water damage, a little bit of a leak up here in the ceiling. And I had new roof put on 2 years ago. So I wanted to get these pictures to the guy who did the roof and say, can you please come over and take a look? And I guess if I just tap on that and where it, when you tap on the picture,
Mhm.
if it says mail, I guess I can just email it from the phone to him.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought somehow I had to email it to myself and then forward it to him. I just pushed these buttons now, and lo and behold, I think I got the answer. I think I got it.
Sometimes just by being in good company, you figure it out yourself.
Must be, yes.
Do you have an Android or an
No, I have an iPhone.
phone? Yeah. iPhone, I think, is a little simpler than the Android for sending stuff.
Yeah, it did come up and I'm just gonna.
But for
There's
those
the guy's
that,
name. There's the guy's name right there. I can send that. I actually may have already done that now that I see that. Oops.
but for folks that might not know how to do this, all you have to do is go to the photo. I know I need to delete stuff. Take the picture you want, and then this little guy right here. Oh, that's interesting. You don't see what I see.
Do you see what I see?
You're getting ready for the Christmas concert.
You're in good voice, Bob.
He does. That's odd. You don't see what I see.
No.
Weird. But yeah, if you hit that little share icon, I wonder if there's something else I can share. I don't know. That's odd. Or does somebody have a photo that I can? Who sent me a photo recently that I can? Chris might have sent me something. So that little share button at the bottom left of that screen, the little blue box, that thing,
See
and
that,
this
yeah.
thing pops up, and then you can pick what you want to do. The messages is just the message. These are the people I've done things recently to, so that does that, or your email, and then it just pops open and you can send it to whoever that way. But if you have a iPhone and a Mac computer, this little airdrop thing will just take the photos immediately from your phone and clone them onto your what's it called, computer. Or if I'm standing right next to you and I want the photos you took, it will say Lynn George's iPhone with airdrop, and you just click it and it will copy everything to my phone, which is pretty cool. Androids do not have that, unfortunately. but you could also plug in your phones, both Androids and iPhones. You can plug it into your laptop and sync it that way as well. So if you sync your iTunes or your photos, it will sync, so you can do it that way if you don't want to email it to someone. And Dropbox is another way I sync. If you use Dropbox, it will automatically upload photos you take, and then you can have a backup that way. So I do that as well.
So I have Dropbox on my
Mhm.
computer. So if I
Yeah.
wanted to move some of these pictures to Dropbox so that I could then download them from
Mhm.
there, it's a
Yeah.
matter of plugging in the phone or,
So if you download the app on your phone, the Dropbox app,
Mhm.
so
Oh,
if you
there it
go
is. Yeah,
Dropbox,
and behold.
and if you are set up under your account here, and you go to the settings, so here under account, it's got this, and there's features, and one of them is camera uploads, and that's turned on. And if you click it, you can say, yes, I want to back up. And I want just new photos. I don't want all the photos. I don't want duplicates of everything. I want to upload it for my camera roll. I want to include videos. Some people don't use cell data to back up. I do, because sometimes I needed it for church stuff. But saving it as JPEGs is what you will want than the HEIC, because that is more advanced, and it's not all the programs open those kind of files. So that is a handy thing. And then if you have the Dropbox folder on your computer, it will automatically go in the camera uploads folder there. So you can see all the photos and move them in and out of your computer wherever you want.
Oh, great.
So it's a helpful, and that's both Android and iPhone. So I highly recommend that as a backup to your backup of photos.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
And it
Hey,
makes it a little bit
Steve.
faster.
Hello, Stephen.
Boo!
Lynn, did you get my question about the JPEG photos?
JPEG folders. I did see it somewhere. Remind me what
Well,
it
the
was.
question is, if I wanted to resize a JPEG, a photo, it's a JPEG, do I get the same resolution, the same quality if I open a program, a PC program like Paint, and do 10%, 25%, whatever, and size it that way, as I would if I just inserted the photo into PageMaker or something like that, some kind of a page layout thing, and then just clicked on it and made it smaller with the arrow. You know what I mean by that? You know, like just
You mean crop it, or do you
no,
mean
not crop it,
resize it?
size it, not crop it. To crop it, I know I definitely have to use that paint to make it crop right for me to be able. But if I'm actually taking photos and trying to make them all be able to be the same size for what project I'm doing. And so to resize them, normally to resize photos, I put it into Paint and then say, okay, 50%, and then save that as 50%. Or if I want to crop it, I crop it and then say 50%. But I could save a step if I just inserted it into the document I'm using, and then just do it by, highlight the photo, push down the shift key and start at a corner and drag it up to make it the size I want. But do I get the same resolution or quality doing it both ways? Is there any way to know?
I'm going to defer to Lynn because she's done more photo manipulation than I have, but I think the answer is yes.
Yes, it's the same. It's the same.
It may actually improve because you're making the photo smaller.
It should, right? But let's see, what's I gonna say? If I'm making it, does it matter how I make it smaller, I guess is what I'm saying. I know in the old days, they said that when you copy a JPEG, every time you copied a JPEG photo, it lost resolution. It got, and I don't know if that's still true or not. Like, so they'd said, always go back to the original photo because every time you copy it, it's less clear. But I don't know if that's still true anyway.
I
think
don't-
it depends on what you copy it with.
Oh,
If you copy it from like your desktop into a Word document,
right.
that's going to lower the resolution.
Okay.
But if you're just like, if you take the image in your documents folder and copy it, it's going to be the exact same resolution. You'll see the size of the image is exactly the same. So one way you can check these, because I don't know the apps well enough.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I've used Paint.
Sure.
So
Do you even know of it?
I do know of it. I have very fond memories of playing with it as a kid.
Yeah.
But
You mean you haven't been a Mac person all your life?
no, I grew up on PCs. It wasn't until college that I became a Mac person, and I was forced into it
Yeah.
in college. But I have a great story. My parents had got me a PC for college, and finals week sophomore year, it died. Like, and I lost all of my finals papers, and I had to start from scratch. And that semester, I took an editing class in college that required me to use a Mac. So I was forced into Mac world, and I went, this is so much better than a PC. So I was like, that summer, I got a Mac after. So crappy Dell. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so what you can do is if you try changing the resolution and quality of those photos, what you can do is wherever you save those photos when you downsize them, see if the size of the file is exactly the same as the original.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Trying to do.
But that's what I would suggest. I would think photo editor or whatever the Windows thing is would be safer than using Paint, but
I've
I'm
never got that. Well, that's not even downloaded, I don't think, on my computer with, because I didn't get Word or anything like that.
oh,
I don't think I have that one.
I
That's why
would think
stuck with
that
me.
Microsoft would have a default like photo. Am I
What?
making that up, Stephen?
Photo editor?
Yeah. There used to be a photo, like a general photos.
Well, there's Photos and Photos 3D. Let me see. I don't use. I have a free photo editor that I use. Let me look real quick at. I'm sorry. It's Paint and Print 3D. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't see where Photos is.
If you double click a JPEG,
That's true. The problem is I don't have a JPEG on this computer.
Well, answer me this, is it better to take, say, take the photo, take the JPEG and say copy and paste it into the document than to insert it? I would think it would be better to insert it because I'm starting with the original photo but does it make any difference?
That should make a difference.
It should or shouldn't?
Should not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
should be exactly the same.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
You
But-
know what? I'm going to do a search. Wait a minute. Where? Oh, okay. I do have a picture. So if I open a JPEG,
You want to screen share, Stephen?
sure. So here's a photo. And I can crop it and I can rotate it.
Is that on a second monitor?
Huh? Oh, it might be. Oh no, it's on. Oh, are you not seeing it?
No.
We're seeing your file folder where we see it.
Oh. How about now?
No,
All right. Let me
see a sunset.
yeah,
So we
that's the
might-
photo. You do. You see it now?
No,
The sunset, is that the photo you're showing us?
Yeah.
Okay.
we
I
see
that.
your background.
No, that's on the background. That's the photo.
Oh.
Oh, it also happens to be my background. I forgot about that.
Cute trick.
We only see one, and it's the background of your desktop. We see your,
Yeah, you know what?
Passport.
You might be. Where is stop sharing?
if it makes you feel better, Stephen has issues with technology too.
Wait a minute.
There it is.
Okay. So, as I said, you can crop. Well, these were, how do I back up here? Let's cancel. When I brought this up, I could zoom in or zoom out, and I could rotate it or crop it. So what I'm going to do is crop, but all I'm going to do, well, that's not going to work.
But see, that's not cropping, that's just sizing, right?
No, this is cropping.
But it's
So-
cropping, you can't control how it's cropped, though.
Yeah, I
There's-
can.
There's
See?
aspect ratio up at the top under rotate. That should give you different, like a 4:6 or a 5:7.
Yes. So I'm going to cancel. Oh, here's where, when you save a copy, oh, that's all it's going to do. All right, that's going to reduce the size of the picture, but not the resolution.
Can you hit cancel, Stephen?
I will.
But I
What
don't,
does,
yeah. What did you
Okay.
open it in, though?
I'm sorry.
What did you open it in?
It opened in photo.
Okay.
Stephen,
Okay.
there's 3 dots next to the printer. Does that have a resize?
Yes. See how it says?
Yeah,
You can
okay.
save it at different
Yep,
megapixel sizes.
right.
And define custom dimensions would allow you.
Yep. And like I
Okay.
said, this is what came up just because I clicked on the photo.
Okay.
Now, just as an aside, I use a free photo editor, which lets you have control like this and even more. And one of the things it does is when you go to save what you've worked with, you get to choose the resolution.
Okay.
So I always use 100% unless I'm worried about space.
Right.
So if you're interested, I can tell you the name of the program.
Yes, please.
It's called Photoscape,
One word?
one word,
Okay.
and you should be able to download it for free.
Okay.
I would show it to you, but I don't have it on this computer.
Okay, now here's my question. My photos now that have been taken on my phone are in Google Photos. And you can't, Google Photos has its own whatever, because you can't just, the only way I could get it to be a JPEG was to open it and then say save as a JPEG. Otherwise, I can't find any way to use a Google folder in any other document, a Google photo in any other document. I mean, when you
Yeah,
click,
because it's in the cloud, so you have to download it.
okay, so how do I download it other than just click on it and say save as? Is that how we do it?
I'm gonna defer to somebody else because I don't use Google Photos.
Okay,
Let
Does
me,
anybody have experience doing that? Should I
Oh.
stop sharing, by the way?
yes, you can stop sharing.
thank you though, Stephen, that was helpful.
I'm not an expert in Google Photos, but let me. Here is a photo on Google Photos. And you might recognize some of these people. So Google Photos. So here there's a bunch of different, if you click the photo, download. So if you
That's the one that would get it to your computer.
Okay, boy, that doesn't look like my Google
So-
Photos though.
So if you go to Google Photos, the website, yes, and you find whatever you're looking for,
And then you actually can't just click on it like that. You have to, yeah, you go like that. Okay, and then
and
look for
do
download.
that. I can see if you can do that here. Maybe if you check it. Yeah, if you want to download like all of these photos.
No,
Oh, there's this Judy.
Yeah,
Didn't even
Um,
recognize myself.
And there's a download photo. So if you
Now,
select multiple,
what are you clicking on? Because it's hidden behind us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
What?
move us.
what?
I'm trying to figure out where you're getting, is it the 3 dots?
Yeah.
3 dots, yeah. So up here, share. So if I want to share this with people, I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but that's not what, I mean, that's gonna come
Order
in.
photos if I want to print them, trash them, or if I want to download.
Okay, then if you take one of them and download it and just save it on your computer somewhere and see what kind of a file it is.
It's going to be a JPEG.
You'll get to choose, won't you?
Let's do. So here I get to choose. It's a, I'll do desktop
Well, that's where you want to put it, but not what
and
you want.
it's saving as a JPEG.
Okay,
So if
okay.
I wanted to name this as Judy and Susan, I could have, instead of IMG, called it Judy and Susan,
Pardon me, what is a JPEG?
Oh, thank you for asking. I was sitting here feeling so stupid because I thought, I don't even know what a JPEG is.
See, I don't mind asking stupid questions.
Do you know what the abbreviation stands for, Stephen?
I used to know, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
I used to know too. Let me pull it up. JPEG.
JPEG.
Joint?
What it is a format of image
What?
files.
So the
Other
official,
formats like GIF and PRN, but JPEG is the most common.
so the official word for what it stands for is Joint Photographic Experts Group. It's a way of compressing a photographic image so that you can edit it and things. So it's basically whenever you take a digital image, it saves it as a file called
It's a
JPEG.
PNG.
Like when you save a Word document, it's DOX, it's a document.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I got
so-
that.
So a photo is going to be saved as a JPEG. PNG is another format that sometimes is saved as a, so if you're going through your photos and you're looking for like, is this a Word document? Is this a PDF or a PowerPoint or a Word doc? You can tell by the types of endings the file is saved as. So
See, I use mostly documents, so that's why mine's DLC.
So yeah, if you see DOC a lot, that's because you have a lot of Word documents.
Mm.
Yeah,
Um,
PNG is a higher resolution though, or something, isn't it? It's a better photo. But not everything will take a PNG, right?
Mhm.
Won't.
And the nice thing about PNGs for like logos is it gives a transparent background.
Oh,
So like the church's logo, you know, it doesn't have a background, a white background, because I want to overlay it on top of other images so that it looks pretty. But if I save it as a JPEG, it's going to give me this awkward white box.
cool. That's
So around it. So there, I give a lot of people issues when I see a piece of paper that's like a blue piece of paper with like a white box under the logo. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that person didn't know how to save it from a JPEG to a PNG.
That's huge. Glad to know
So
that.
I get like
My gosh,
my
how could a
standard
person
of
Not know that.
you know, if somebody hands me a printout, I'm like, I judge them real quick if it's something like that, or in like a menu or something. You'll notice that too, at like a diner or something.
Cool.
So,
But what app or program do you have to save a JPEG as a PNG?
I think you can save it. Let me pull one up.
You know, actually, that's Paint does give you that option now that I think of it, because I remember seeing-
Most photo editing places, you can do save as
Mhm.
or export, and you have the choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
The default Mac preview has a export as PF, and I'm guessing the program Stephen was looking at, there's an
Looking to
export.
make sure it can,
Okay.
because I don't do much overlaying of photos, so I don't work with PNGs very often.
That's good to know.
I save a lot of GIFs, but I don't use PNGs too often. So I'm downloading it now onto this computer.
Okay, now after all this, here's my question. That when I get these photos the way, the size I want them, I want to print them out on my printer. Therein, this determines the resolution, right? I mean, the printer only has such a high a resolution. So no matter if I think I'm really getting it, you know, in a nice high quality, it's not going to be necessarily as good printed out because of the printer's capacity.
I think
Yeah,
it's the printer's ink capacity more than the resolution of the
That's
photo.
what I mean, yeah. So I mean, I can't control that. So, you know, right.
I typically print my photos through Shutterfly or Snapfish or Staples or something because I want it to look nice, or CVS,
Yeah.
Target. Because they're trying to print photos on a personal computer is not fun. Even if you get a printer designed to print photos, they're not nearly as great.
Exactly. Yeah.
But for the Steven's thrown out the word GIF or GIF. If you don't know what that is, it's a very short
Peanut butter.
movie clip.
Oh.
So you'll see them in like memes and like internet things. So I'm trying to find one for you. So here's one that you guys might appreciate. Hopefully it plays. Maybe.
Excuse me.
Can you see this moving?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
That's a GIF. So it's something short like that that moves. So it's a little, it's somewhere between a photo and a movie. So
Just as an aside, Photoscape does let you save photos as PNGs.
Okay.
Oh, it's a FUVI. Right?
What's that?
It's a FUVI. It's between a photo and a movie. It's a FUVI.
I like that better. And people fight over the internet of how to pronounce it. So
GIF
Yeah, I
is-
always thought it was a GIF.
I did too.
I call it a GIF.
Well, see, a GIF is probably an iPhone and a GIF is a Android.
Or it's peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Or it's like that dress back in the day when half the people thought it was gold and half the
Yes.
people thought it was blue.
Well, is it data or data? That's never been solved either.
Right.
I have a can I do a question?
Of course.
This is a what would you do if you were me question, okay? Now, I want to go back to say that it doesn't seem that way to you, but I have a technical degree and I worked in the chemical industry for 27 years, so I'm not as much as you think. And I was around when Al Gore invented the internet. I mean, I go back a ways. But
Me too.
I'm talking about, I don't have a phone, okay? I had one some years ago, but I haven't been out since Old Testament time, it's been forever. So I'm around home, I have a home phone, it's not working right now, but I have a home phone. And I had a cell phone, but I didn't want to pay for a smartphone, so it was a dumb phone. I had a cell phone. And but nobody ever called me on it. And it wasn't that I was that unpopular, but they knew how to reach me on my home phone.
Mhm.
So I don't have a cell phone, and I don't text because I'm digitally challenged, so it's hard for me to text. So I don't have a cell phone. Now, my daughter came over yesterday, and they were talking about going to the airport. You don't use boarding passes anymore. Some it's done differently. And I know when you mail things, it's done differently. A lot of things are done through a phone, which I don't have.
Mhm.
My whole point here is if you were me, would you go out and get a phone anyhow? Or I hate to pay 30, 40 bucks a month for to sit at home and talk to you guys, So
You weren't watching the screen, were you?
what?
You got 3 head shakes.
No.
At least
Yeah.
I saw 3. I don't know if there were
Well,
more.
yeah, but the important thing is which way? This way?
No, this,
No, yeah, definitely
No,
not. You don't
no.
need one.
No shakes. No.
If I could get
No,
rid of my
no.
phone, I would.
Don, here's the thing that happened to me. Because I use my phone, I tell people that I want to have the number, have it, but I don't really use my cell phone that much either. And I was at Applebee's and there were not very many. There was one other couple waiting and they said that I'd have to wait maybe 15 minutes. So give me your cell phone number so we can call you when it's ready. And I said, well, I don't have a cell phone. And she said, I said, can we just stand right here? We'll stand right here. Oh, no, we need you to give us their cell phone number. So I just walked out. I said, okay, sorry. because I couldn't believe that they couldn't let me stand right there. And when they say Nancy, I would be there. But they needed to
Ridiculous.
change-
They have to
Yeah,
call.
so that's.
You think they give you a pager at that
Yes,
point?
a pager is fine, but wanted to call you on the cell phone, it's really suspect when she said, well, no, we need a cell phone. We're supposed to take a cell phone. And I'm thinking,
I
okay.
think that person was trained poorly. I
yeah,
don't think
Or
that was
was new.
actually their policy.
I hope not.
Was that recently, Nancy?
Oh, it was in the summer, I guess. Oh no, it was in the fall because it was after a soccer game, but yeah, and it was in Westchester, I'll tell you that, so don't go there.
I just went to have blood drawn, and I think it's a COVID thing, because it's a place where you go and a whole bunch of people would sit together waiting to be called in. And that's what they asked. They asked for my cell phone number. They said, if you don't mind, can you wait in your car and we will call you when it's time. So I
Mhm.
just wondered whether that's a temporary.
I think that's
COVID
going to
thing.
become the norm.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think so too. And
Well,
I know
okay,
I went
okay,
to a
good.
few restaurants where they didn't give you a menu. There was a QR code and you had to
Mm.
scan it with your phone to view the menu.
See, this is
Right.
what I mean. So what's this do to somebody like me? Do I
Right.
stop eating?
No, I think they'd have paper menus that they could give you.
But Dan, you said you didn't go out. You got to go out to go to a restaurant.
I know that.
But Dan, if this will make you feel better. So when I got stranded at the airport on the way home from California a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and I had put my ticket on my phone as Apple Pay because it's the most brilliant thing ever, and so fast and easy. But when they canceled our flight, they actually gave us paper tickets, so you can still get paper boarding tickets.
Okay.
And it was so odd to me. We're all like, how can we get this on our phone? We don't want the paper tickets. We're going to lose them.
Nobody thinks I don't know if they can go anywhere anyhow, like traveling by air. So I don't know.
Yeah. So if you fly, there's paper tickets you can easily get. So don't worry about that as an issue. But I really think you can get away with it at this point. It's going to get harder and harder, I think, to avoid it. But
Yeah, but it does make me less and less capable because I don't use it,
mhm,
phone so that like everyone else does.
mhm,
I reached a point in life where there's some things I just figure I don't need to learn.
mhm,
One of my go-tos is let somebody else do it. So
mhm. Yep, it's a good practice. The nice thing about a smartphone is it's also your camera, so you don't have to carry a digital camera around. It's a calculator, it's a compass, it's everything
right.
you need, your email. So it's really a computer in your hand.
yeah, I know.
So in some ways, it's one thing that replaces a ton of things. Like I think of going on vacation 20 years ago and here's your camera, here's your, passport, here's your, walkie-talkie and everything you need to carry around. And it's all one thing now.
How
So,
does the phone replace your passport?
well, they're now doing it's a new thing with Apple Pay. You can do your driver's license and things that way, so you show that instead. It's not rolled out yet, but it's coming in the next year or two. It'll probably be a thing.
You know
The
what?
reason I ask is we're going to Mazatlan for a wedding at some point. And if we don't have to carry our passports, that means we will lose them.
Yep, it's coming. I don't think it's there yet, but you can add it to your wallet.
Oh, okay.
So
How long do you think it'll be before church goes bulletinless?
I really think
long.
with everything on the live stream now, on the projected on the walls, it's only a matter of time. I'm guessing with the new pastor coming, it's possible that in the next few years it's gone.
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure on the pro presenter person.
No pressure, Nancy and Stephen.
Well, Lynn, you'll appreciate this. This summer, Chautauqua went programless. There were no bulletins, no orchestra programs. Everything was by a QR download or on a screen.
That was the way at the Henderson band concert was just a week ago, that it was all, they had a QR thing. However, he made the statement that Wi-Fi was almost unable to be used within this concrete auditorium, nor was there good cell service. So yeah, so we downloaded it, we could see one thing and then all of a sudden it's gone. So, you know, they're gonna have to be doing something. If they're gonna do it that way, then they're gonna have to make somehow that it's more available.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think it's one of the reasons that the infrastructure bill has broadband internet in it, because it's becoming more and more critical to everyday life.
You know what's ridiculous here? You know, I'm a big phone user. And I go out and you see people taking pictures and so on. Sometimes I have to remind them that you actually can talk on this thing. But people don't like to talk, on the phone anymore. They text, which they use words that don't mean anything or they make up. And they but people don't want to talk on the phone anymore. So there again, I'm out of it because I like to talk on the telephone.
Mhm.
And they use that thing. They look at it. I sit in you sit in a waiting room in a restaurant. What's everybody doing? They're staring at their phone. So I don't know, but they don't talk on it anymore.
Nope.
Well, and the art of talking to strangers, you know, is gone too. You know, when
I
we're-
talk to, and you're all strange. So I talk to strangers all the time. So I know, in fact, you talk to strangers now and people look askew, like you're some sort of a prevert or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to learn when you hear someone talking that they're really not talking to you. That's the thing I do. I'll walk by and someone's
Yeah.
talking and I think they're talking to me and oh no, they're talking on their phone.
I think Jake, there's a bunch of nuts people out there, you know, they're just,
Right. Yeah, they're not schizophrenic.
yeah.
Especially the ones with the earbuds in or the Bluetooth connection. And you don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's true. But and the art of writing too, because everything's going back to emojis, and they're really talking about how it's come full circle, and we might go back all the way to like hieroglyph type things with emojis.
I got a handwritten letter back a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was a shock.
I don't handwrite it, but I write letters with some frequency to people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's an art.
Yeah.
I'm so,
I still write thank you letters to people though. So
Mhm.
That reminds me, I still owe people thank yous. Anyway,
I owe people thank yous from last week too, Stephen, on behalf of
Yeah, I'll bet you do.
for years, I wrote Patty, like about 6 letters a year I would write her.
you. Have love letters? That's awesome.
Silence.
You're making fun of me.
Not at all.
No.
I'm serious, Dan. That's beautiful.
And I write birthday letters. I call everybody on their birthday and then my family, and I write letters. And if the birthday has a 0 or a 5 on the end, I write a 2-page letter.
Wow.
Otherwise, I write a 1-page letter.
Uh,
I like,
Those are gifts that keep on giving, letters like that, because you can
yeah.
pull them out. I've got some, my dad's oldest brother wrote letters to everybody who was in the service, and he made carbon copies of them. And I've got some of those letters and they are priceless. They're just so, those letters that you're writing, Dan, they're going to be priceless 50 years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, people pull them out and be like, oh, I remember Dan when he sent this to me. It made my day.
You know what makes one sign that letters are special? You'll delete an email, but you don't throw out a letter.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one thing, emails, they have the simultaneity, that everything is so, that's a multisyllabic word. I like to talk multisyllabically, but it's like, it's, people do it and then they hit a send button. That's not always good, because sometimes it's better to marinate for a while before you send something.
Mm-hmm.
And, but a letter's not that way, and you think about it and you go over it a little bit and so on before you send it and so on. It's not as half-baked as the way we communicate now. You don't, you send out emails that afterward you think, gee, I wish I would have said that differently, whereas a letter, it's less apt to do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it is true that you don't receive, like, Steve, you mentioned you received a letter and it was a notable occasion. Just
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Way
Think
to
about
have
all
to
the
dial
people
out.
whose lives you're enriching with
Did,
those
Bob.
letters.
what's that? Okay, well, let me answer. I'm not going to get a phone then.
I would not.
Nope. Nope. You've got a landline, and Patty has ways to reach people too. So I think you're set.
And if I have an urge, I'll just write a letter.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Or a phone call.
Well,
And,
I'm gonna hang up now and go write a letter.
Dan,
You know?
don't hang up yet, Dan.
Okay.
I just want to know if you've been having any more problems with your sound like you were.
No, but my printer I'm gonna use as an anchor. It just keeps busting on me, so I was thinking about going to Amazon and telling them how much I need it and go the direction that you told me.
Ah,
Mm.
It's the other kind, so.
Yep.
I
Well,
have to
I am
pack
gonna
to
hang
go
up.
home.
I'm gonna.
Safe travels home, Judy.
What's that? Thank you. Thank you.
I have to go get a booster shot is what I'm gonna do, truly, so,
Oh, good.
Good. Go
Okay.
get that.
okay. Lynn, you take